joining us on this Thursday on Coastlife. We are your hosts. I'm Paige Marley.
And I'm Ava Krivosh. Thanks for tuning in.
We are so excited to be here with you today, and we are a day closer to the Labor Day weekend. So this also means, especially if you live here, you know this, Ava, it's kind of the last real busy weekend on the beach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of like after this weekend, the towns start to clear out a bit and the traffic lessens up, definitely.
Definitely. So, but we still have to get through this real busy time, and I was thinking about this when I've been at the beach this week. I know you used to be an Ocean City lifeguard, so I have to ask you this. Beach etiquette. Have you noticed anything a little crazy in your time as a lifeguard or seen any real crazy beach etiquette?
I would say that beach etiquette is something that I learned and picked up over my years of lifeguarding. And obviously when I was in my stand, didn't really apply to me.
Right.
But a lot of times you have people who would complain that people are sitting too close to them, or if they're playing their music too loud. There's a lot of different things on the beach that you can, of course, when you go to the beach, you're having your time and enjoying yourself, but being mindful of others is really important as well.
That definitely makes sense. I think everyone can agree. You've been on the beach before and you're just relaxing and someone gets a little too close with their blanket, or their kid gets a little too close to you, kicking sand on your blanket. So I wanted to share this one little story of I'm on the beach and by myself, headphones in, reading a book, eating snacks, and this kid comes up and just sticks his hand in the bag. And it's okay, kids, I love kids. I was like, oh, looked at his parents like, oh, hey, your kid's over here. And they were like, yeah, give him some. I was, what? Yeah, so he just sticks his sandy hand in my Sour Patch Kids, and that's beach etiquette no-go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, sorry to this family.
And then you're eating sand the rest of the day.
Yes, I couldn't decipher between the sugar in my Sour Patch Kids and the sand. So I would say that's a no-go.
I would say that's a no-go too.
Yeah. Loud music, maybe. I may be a little guilty of that though, at least in the past.
What is your go-to music to bump on the beach?
Ooh, great question. Reggae, anything Bob Marley. What about you?
I'm along the same lines, like a reggae, beach rock, or sometimes some country.
Yeah.
You know, you're like early 2000s dad rock music.
Yes.
That's kind of my vibe.
That's a good one. You know, also I was at the beach last week and this couple got real close again and they bring out their radio and I'm like, oh, please don't be too loud. It was loud, but they only were playing that kind of like beachy, good like reggae music.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, they can turn it up.
Yeah, I don't mind it at this point then.
Yeah, exactly, right.
As long as it's music that you do like.
Exactly. Otherwise, it's like, hey, turn it down. So let us know if you have any kind of crazy beach etiquette stories and what bothers you the most. But something else that I've noticed, and some people at work called me a little uptight about this, and others say they're on my side. So we want to know what you think. PDA on the beach is another one that gets me.
It's a no-go for me. In any form.
So you're like a PDA no all the time.
Especially on the beach.
Yeah.
I feel like, I'm not sure, when I was lifeguarding, I had to watch a lot of PDA on all areas, either in the water, at the back of the beach, all across the beach, and I was not a fan of it, but you know, you do you.
Yeah, you do you.
And as long as everyone's happy, then I'm happy.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, PDA in general, I'm not too mad at. I think there's a line.
Yes.
You know, hand holding, arm holding, a kiss here or there, fine, depending on where you are. But yes, I'm sure you've noticed the couple who goes into the water and they are attached at the hip, and then suddenly they're breathing the same air a little too close, and then you're like, how are you breathing? You know,
is there like too much CO2 going back and forth?
Something, it's like, take a breath, you know what I mean? Woo. Yeah, we've all seen that. Or even on the sand, it's like, aren't you sweaty? I don't like anyone
It's all
touching me at the
sandy,
beach.
sweaty.
Yeah.
Not for me.
I'm not even a hand holder on the beach. Your palms are sweaty. It's too hot. So just be mindful of your PDA. Let us know if you're a PDA person.
Or not.
Or not. Either way, we love you. Something else we were talking about before we get started on the show today. So maybe that's the first thing you notice about someone is are they having too much PDA? But we started talking amongst our coworkers. What is the first thing you notice about somebody? Ava, when you first meet someone for the first time, what are you picking up on?
I think the first thing I pick up on is the energy that they give off, the energy that they radiate, and the kind of overall vibe that I get from them. If they're, bringing a positive energy into the whole situation, conversation, whatever it is. And then if we're talking about features on someone, I usually look at their eyes or their smile.
That's a good one. The energy is a great point because there's a big difference no matter how you look of, hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And hi, how are you? It always just makes you feel different about somebody.
I agree.
Yeah. The first thing I think I noticed, which I don't even mean this in like a materialistic or vain or anything kind of way, but I always notice what someone's wearing. And I think because I always will be like this happens a lot on the beach. I'll be in like shorts and a t-shirt, and if someone's wearing a cute sundress, I'm like, where are they going? How'd they pick that out? How can I pull that off? I'm always like, or they'll be like, oh, those colors look so good.
Yes.
Like all day today, I've been like, dang, her top brings out her eyes, doesn't it?
Thank
you.
you.
What I mean? So yeah, something like that. But that was a common consensus around the office: teeth and eyes.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, teeth and eyes. That's fine. All right.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, I think that's like the second or third thing I noticed, but sure. Well, don't forget anything we talked about during this part of our show. We always want to hear from you on our socials. You can do that. The list of our socials is right here, how to connect with us. But we're not going anywhere just yet. Coming up on Coast Life today, we are speaking with people who do so much for our local community and, of course, our wounded warriors. We speak with Operation Seize the Day.
And things are about to get spicy because we are spilling the tea. All that and more when we return on Coast Life.
Coast Life is brought to you by BB Healthcare, Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, Preston Automotive Group, and Shell Brothers.
You are watching Coast Life on Coast TV, and Ava, I know this is something we both love about the coast.
Yes.
How much people here love and give back to our first responders and those who served our country. That's why we are so excited today to introduce you to Annette Reaping with Operation Seize the Day. Thank you for being here.
S-E-A-S.
Yes, like the sea, like the ocean. So tell us, what is Operation Seize the Day?
It's a program where we bring wounded warrior families to Bethany Beach for a week of rest and relaxation. And they are given a home that they can use free. We have the whole community now is around this program. We give them dog tags, such as this, so that as they walk around, it says VIF on it, very important family. That the residents or people visiting the area know that there are families, and we used to say, go up, shake their hand, and thank them for their service. But since COVID, we now say, hit your heart and thank them for your service, so that they know that they are appreciated. They come in, the children particularly are interesting because now they're around other children who have parents like themselves. And they bond, they come together. We have the whole community. The businesses have offered dinners, everything around it, boating, fishing, tennis, everything's available to them that we do, that people come in for vacations. And they're there for a week, and we hear great feedback from them.
Wow. I can only imagine, and Bethany sounds like such the perfect place to have a relaxing vacation with your family.
Yes. The way it started is rather interesting. Two women who had places in Bethany were out in the evening having some wine on the back porch, and they came from Virginia, near where the Pentagon was attacked. And they looked around and said, Bethany is such a great family place. Couldn't we bring some of our wounded soldiers here? And as everything with this program kind of happens for a purpose, one of the women was an airline stewardess, and she was on her last trip to Spain. So it was a long trip. And she started talking with one of the men that was on this trip and shared this thought that she had with her other friend. And he said, well, I own a place in Bethany. And it was the three of them. We say it took 6 hands coming together to write they wanted this program to work, but it takes hundreds of hands to implement it.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's so incredible.
And so I'm sure you've worked with a lot of families. Can you share any stories, or do you have any memories of how this has impacted and helped families?
Yes. This is our 10th year. So it's our 10-year anniversary, which we're just shocked at. One, the time went by. And we made it through COVID and not being able to do it for 2 years, and now we're back doing it. And I remember last year particularly, we had 3 gentlemen from Afghanistan, their families. And at the end of the week, we do a farewell brunch. And then we have everybody come out. It's at the firehouse. Everybody comes out for a picture, and he was standing behind me. And almost with tears in his eyes, he said, "Now I know why I went into service. This reminded me," because there are towns, whole towns like this, that made me feel worthwhile.
Wow.
So a lot of our wounded families are still back in towns where their children are different. And just having this opportunity for the children and for the families and for us as residents, having them in the town, starting with them in the morning when the flags put up, to the evenings where they're out having dinners or just relaxing.
Now, Annette, how did you personally get involved with Operation Seize the Day?
Well, I heard about it, and I wanted to give back after 9/11. All of our soldiers' families are post 9/11, and I heard about it and volunteered.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's amazing.
I think a lot of people resonate with that story. You know, after 9/11 happens, a lot of our viewers, not a lot, but some of our viewers, they weren't even alive when it happened. So it's great, you know, that you are keeping that memory alive and honoring those who do remember that day. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about the Warrior Family Beach Week in just a moment here. What's happening this year, again, for the 10th anniversary. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Annette.
You're watching Coastlife. Before the break, we were talking with Annette from Operation Seize the Day about what to expect next week in Bethany Beach. Last year, I had the pleasure of driving close to the parade that goes from Bethany all the way down to Route 54 in Fenwick, and I was in shock by how many people showed up for this parade to support the wounded soldiers.
Wow, that must have been such a sight to see. What can we expect this year with that parade?
You can expect a lot more since it's our 10th year anniversary. We are expecting crowds to be along the way. It's interesting how this started. We had Bayside give us a call. They wanted in on the program. It was year 2 or 3. And they wanted the soldiers to come for dinner and a show. So we said, okay, now how are we going to transport them? And one of the starting members, said, well, you know, I come from a small town, and in the 4th of July, we always had a parade. Let's have a parade. So that first one, we started to put out flyers to say there's going to be a parade. We didn't know what to expect. Come to Bayside, and we'll have American flags for you to wave and welcome these families in. And what happened, to our surprise, was all along the 5-mile route, all of the communities came out with their chairs and waving American flags. And when the soldiers and their families got off, some of them in tears, saying, this is what must be what it was like in World War II when the soldiers returned. I feel thanked.
Oh, you just gave me chills, honestly, all over my arms. That is such an amazing story. It's sad that they don't feel that more often.
So this year, 10 years, we have posters. We have the gentleman taking care of making sure everyone knows about it. They're going to have flyovers reminding the people on the beach that our wounded warrior families are coming in. And one of the little boys on the bus said to his father as they were coming down, looking at all this, "Are we celebrities?"
You are in Bethany Beach that week. It's fantastic. And I think it's really a testament to the people of Delmarva as well, because this is volunteer run.
100% volunteer.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? How can people get involved, and what do you think this means for the volunteers as well?
Well, we have a website, Operation Seize, SEAS, theday.org, and you can go on there. We did just close out the volunteer list because we're getting ready to roll next week. But certainly you can keep in touch with what we put out on the website in terms of what's happening and notes or things that come along, and come on out. And if you see them in town with one of these dog tags on, very important family, thank them for their service.
We will. That's fantastic. And I'm curious too, I know we talked about getting involved with volunteers, but if there's a family out there, or maybe someone watching knows of a family who could benefit, can they also get involved?
they can go to our website
Okay, perfect.
and let us know about the family, and we'll have someone contact them, but they would have to be for next year.
That's fine. Yeah, start planning it, your vacations ahead of time. That's all right.
Yes.
Amazing. Annette, thank you so much for being here and telling us about this really incredible event. I think everyone's going to be really excited to get their American flags out, get ready for the parade, and support our wounded soldiers and their families.
Yes,
All right.
it's very important.
It is. Well, thank you for the great work that you're doing. All right, if you're heading to this parade, make sure you send us some pictures. We want to see what you're doing next week. Don't forget that is happening in Bethany Beach, so that's the place to be next week to show your thanks. Right now, though, just stay exactly where you are. We'll be right back. You're watching Coastlife, and even if I don't know you, I'm going to take a guess. I think I know something about you. You love skincare and you love adorable puppies. At least one of those was right, and the good news is you can find both at Face of Grace in Lewes. That is where you are going to find skincare, amazing facials, calming facials, and I mentioned the adorable puppy. So we're introducing you to Face of Grace. Take a look.
And we do a double cleanse because
Valine Hathaway understands the struggle that can be skin. She's been through it herself. That's why she started Face of Grace, a holistic skincare studio, to help others feel confident in their own skin.
I had done the dermatologists, peels, I had run the gamut on everything. And it wasn't until I found a more holistic approach that really spoke to me, that made sense of an inside-outside approach to skin. And once I learned more about the skin and this approach, I realized that this is something I could also help other people with, because there's so much information out there. It's so confusing and overwhelming. So I try to really walk my clients through understanding their skin. Start by covering your eyes and taking a closer look at your skin. And then we're going to do a double cleanse. And we do a double cleanse because you cannot both remove your makeup and cleanse your skin with a one-step cleanse.
She's going to get to know you and your skin concerns first. Then when you walk in, you'll be greeted by pudding. Then Baleen will get to work with a fully customized facial just for you.
The facials are all 75 minutes. They are all custom. I have a new facial called the Orange Crush, which is a play off of the local drink that we have around here. It uses one of two very distinct serums that are both orange in color, and we can work on anything from pigmentation to scarring to active breakouts.
Take my word for it, it's relaxing.
I focus on barrier health, and so what that means is you're not going to find any aggressive chemical peels, nothing that's going to harm the outermost layer of your skin, which the outermost layer of your skin is actually very important to skin health, skin function. It's what will keep you youthful, so we like to keep that intact. So that's a big part of my approach to skincare. Your skin is your largest organ. It's the only organ that you really see and interact with on a daily basis. So we tend to beat it up a little more than we should.
And she's going to make sure you have the tools and the knowledge to keep up with your skincare and practice safe sun even after you leave.
We have vitamin D receptors all over our body for a reason. And we live at the beach, right? So it's all about understanding how to get in your sun while also taking care of your skin. So getting it in the morning, wearing your SPF during the day, seeking shade. So it's really about understanding the lifestyle around how to, live and enjoy where we live, but also take care of your skin. I like to finish with a cool towel just to settle the skin.
Oh, I love it. It feels good. Begin to tell you guys how amazing that facial was. I feel so refreshed, and I've told you before about my own insecurities with my skin, and leaving here today I feel a lot more confident. And do not forget, every day on Coast to Be News today and Coast to Be News at 11, you will get the UV index for the day and for the week. It's brought to you by Face of Grace, so you too can practice safe sun. Don't go anywhere. We have more Coastlife on the way. watching Coastlife on Coast TV, and of course on the Delmarva Coast, we have so many amazing libraries, but you might be thinking of a library, you think maybe kids, students, of course, need to go to the library. But what about the adults? There are a lot of great adult programs, especially at the Lewes Public Library. That's why today we have Rebecca Lowe with us with Lewes Public Library. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Of course, so you have a lot coming up. Can you just kind of take us through what's coming up, especially for adults?
Yeah, so fall is a really busy season, especially for adult programming. So we have our fall performance schedule just came out. That's going to be starting in September and running through December. We have at least one performance scheduled every single month. In October, we have 3 performances scheduled. And it's done under our Spoken Word Society program, which is where performers come in, but it's very minimal. They're really focusing on the text. So they have minimal sets, minimal props, minimal, costume, and it's really about hearing the word and hopefully getting you interested in whatever story they're telling, and you may be coming back to the library and, picking up something by that same author. And one of the ones that we're really excited about is Gerald Dickens, who is the, I think, great-great-great-great-grandson of Charles Dickens.
That's super cool.
Yeah, he will be coming twice. He'll be coming on September 22nd to do a one-man show of Great Expectations. And then he will be back in December. We do an annual Christmas story with him. He does a one-man show of a Christmas story. So that's really exciting. And we have Delaware Shakespeare is coming and doing a performance in October. We're going to be doing a Poe by Candlelight as part of Halloween. And we're going to do a Thanksgiving story also. So lots of things happening, and all of those are free. And that is one thing to emphasize, is that all programming at the library is free. There's no financial barriers to being able to attend. The other exciting thing we're doing is we are doing a history lecture series with the Swannondale Museum. They used to do something called Chautauqua, and now they're shifting to a 3-week series. It's Friday evenings, Saturday afternoons, and it's going to focus on the coastal history of Delaware. So it's things they're going to talk about, like oyster farming and all the different lighthouses, including the Cape Henlopen Lighthouse, which isn't there any longer, and the Fenwick Island Lighthouse. So lots of history about what's happening and what has happened along the Maritime, and why it's important still to be concerned about that. At the end of the month, we have the History Book Festival, which we're a partner on. We're one of the venues for that, and it is the only book festival in the entire country dedicated solely to history. So it's both fiction and nonfiction, historical text. It's 24 different authors, I believe. So it's just a weekend-long event. It's really great. So those are all the special programs that we're running.
That's incredible. Now, Rebecca, you've listed all of these different events and festivals coming up. What is the one that you are most looking forward to?
Oh my gosh, that's like asking me to name my favorite child. I can't name my favorite child. All of them are really great. I don't think there is really any one in particular. I mean, I'm excited for the lecture series, the history one, just because it's new, and we'll see how that goes, and hopefully it'll become an annual offering. The History Book Festival is always super fun. We've been planning it with the History Book Festival folks for over a year now, and this is, I believe, the fifth year that we've been helping to run it. So that's exciting. And then the performances, it's really neat to see what people are able to do, especially with very minimal sets. Right. So that's exciting.
Right. Yeah. And you listed a lot of events that are upcoming. I'm sure everyone wants to make sure they're staying updated. What is the best way people can stay updated with Lewes Public Library?
Well, you can visit our website, because it's always on the website. And then once you're there, you can sign up for our newsletter. So we have a monthly newsletter that goes out, and it lists everything that's coming up for the next month. So our September newsletter just went out. So it has the children's programs, the teens, the adult programs, the special services that we offer. All of that is in this really super long newsletter. You just have to kind of keep scrolling through it to find out everything.
It's worth it, though.
Yes.
To keep scrolling.
Yeah, keep scrolling.
Yes. And let's reemphasize that what you mentioned is free. Free, right? So leave your wallet. Bring your wallet. You need your ID, but leave your money at home. That's incredible. I think too, with kids going back to school, adults have more more adult time. So
Yes.
they have hopefully more time to do these things.
Yeah, yeah, and we serve all ages. We serve from little babies all the way up to whatever age. Perfect. Yeah.
Your library really is there for everybody.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and it's more of a community center now. It's not so much come check out a book. I mean, first of all, we have a whole bunch of different materials you can check out besides books. I mean, there's books on audio, there's electronic books that you can get out. You know, we've got newspapers, magazines, CDs for music, all sorts of things that you can get out. But also, you know, we're really trying to provide an array of services, make it more of a one-stop shop. You know, so like 2 days a week we have a social worker who's there to help people who, you know, might need help with a whole array of services. It could be job search, it could be applying for benefits, you know, learning about Medicare, Medicaid. You know, she's there to help you figure out that system. You know, we do financial literacy classes to help folks, you know, understand, particularly around retirement, just because Lewes is a retirement destination. So to help you figure out how, you know, I've retired now, how can I stay retired and not have to go back to work? We've started some new programming for millennials, which is really exciting. Yeah, millennials are, you know, underrepresented at libraries in terms of just, you know, and it's a lot for them, a lot of it is time, just trying to have time and having programs that are targeted for them. So we're trying to target that population more. They just started a program called Pints and Pages, which is just what it sounds like. It is a book club. Dewey Beer is sponsoring it, and you get to drink beer and you get to talk about books, and that's pretty fun. Yeah,
That is like every millennial I know.
Yeah,
Including myself. That's what they want to do.
yeah. You know, if we got to give you a beer to come into the library, that's what we're gonna do.
Blood Bank of Delmarva does it, and we can do it. You can do it.
There you go. Exactly.
All right, Rebecca, one more time so people can keep up with you. The website, and this might sound silly, but just in case someone doesn't know, can you remind us where the library is?
Sure. So the website, you can always Google Lewes Public Library. I mean, that'll take you to us pretty easy. If you want to look it up, it's Lewes, LEWES.LIB, short for library, .de, for Delaware.us. So lewes.lib.de.us, and that'll take you to our website. You can find out all the information there. A lot of the programs require registration. You can do that right there on the website as well. The location of the library is 111 Adams Avenue, so that's in between Freeman Highway and Kings Highway in Lewes. So if you are driving to the, let's say, Lewes Ferry Terminal, you will see us right on the left-hand side. Big building, can't miss it. You turn on Monroe Avenue. There's a large parking lot there, so lots of parking.
Yes, lots of, and it's free parking.
And free parking, yes.
Just to entice you a little bit more. Free events, free parking.
Yep.
Amazing. Great. Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for keeping us updated with what's going on.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course. All right, we'll see you guys at the Lewes Public Library. But for right now, we'll see you in just a couple minutes because we'll be...
You're watching Coastlife and take a listen to that sound. There is nothing like bluegrass music, and there's going to be a whole lot more where that came from. Coming up Saturday, September 16th, here at Lone Cedar Acres. And here is the guy who's making it all happen, Bobby Dickerson. He is the founder of the Lone Cedar Acres Bluegrass Festival. Second year.
Second year, yes.
So what can folks expect this year?
Much of what we had last year, except for even bigger. We have more vendors coming this year, merchandise vendors. Food vendors are still going to be here. Lots of things for the kids to come out and do. Moon bounces, petting zoo, face painting, tons of stuff for kids. 12 and under are free.
So there's no way to get bored.
No way to get bored.
So can you just tell us a little bit about how the whole festival came to be?
Yes. So we purchased this property 2 years ago and had our first Bluegrass Festival. In sort of remembrance of my grandmother, I used to go as a young child to a lot of bluegrass festivals with her, and had the vision to have something out here. And we had such a big response last year, and just wanted to answer that response. So many people said, "When are you doing it again?" And we decided we're going to have our second annual.
Wow! Can we talk for a second about this facility, this pavilion here?
Absolutely.
It's beautiful. I mean, I imagine that putting this together, creating this space, was no easy task.
It was no easy task by no means, but with the help of a lot of friends, contractors, and so forth that we work with daily, and know real well. They've helped us put this together, and a lot of good friends and a lot of sponsors this year.
Yeah, tell me about those sponsors.
So we have the Metal Shop in Del Mar, huge, one of our biggest sponsors this year, and just so grateful that they were able to help us out. We have Resort Exteriors helping us this year, Fresh Coat Painting, and many others, too many to name, that just come through and helped us, help us be able to afford to get the bands here. We have Danny Paisley coming, Josh Grigsby across the tracks, and just some great bands coming out that we're excited about.
I'm sure. And if somebody's maybe not used to bluegrass music, or they've never heard of it before, what is bluegrass music? How would you define it?
My definition for bluegrass music, is it's a music for family, all family. Generally a clean music for those who want slower or fast-paced music, and it's just a good family time.
Bobby, is there dancing that happens during the
There
festival?
is dancing. I won't be participating in that, but there is dancing, and it's a real pleasure to watch people get up and have a good time and dance, and see folks come out and have a good time.
I think it's hard not to dance when you hear that band.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
Awesome. And so if people are interested, how can they get tickets?
If they want to get tickets, they can go to LoneCedarAcres.com, TicketLeap.com. We have online tickets being sold as well. We are selling tickets at the door as well. There's multiple avenues of getting the tickets.
And of course, Bobby, what time does everything get going on Saturday? What's the schedule look like?
So bands start playing at 12, and it goes through the night until 10 p.m.
10 p.m. And you guys, Lone Cedar Acres, you are here in Pittsville.
Yep, 33925 Rounds Road, Pittsville, Maryland.
We made it here, pretty easy to find.
Absolutely.
Not bad.
The heart of the Eastern Shore.
I love it. And parking should be easy?
Parking, plenty of parking last year, and we foresee no problems with parking this year.
That's awesome. And Bobby, what was your grandmother's name?
My grandmother's name was Geneva Hornsby.
And what do you think that she would think of all this?
She'd be very proud of it, of bluegrass being here on the shore. She'd be very proud to see this happening, and seeing people still enjoying bluegrass music today. And I'm sure she'll be looking down for good weather that day.
Hope so. That's awesome. Well, speaking of folks enjoying bluegrass music, we'll stop talking and we'll let the band play out, right?
Absolutely.
As we go to commercial break. Coastlife will be right back.
Hey Coastlife, it's Thursday, so you know what we're doing today. Spilling the tea. So excited to have Ava spill the tea with me for the first time.
Yes, I'm so excited. I've been hearing all about it, and I can't wait.
Good. We're gonna spill some drama, but first, we're gonna spill some real tea. As always, this is courtesy of our friends at the Spice and Tea Exchange on Rehoboth Avenue in Rehoboth Beach. We say this most days, or most times we do this segment because it's true. You're on Rehoboth Avenue, something smells really good, it's Spice and Tea Exchange. Duh, okay? So today, Ava, we're having turmeric mango herbal tea. Ooh, look how cool that looks too.
It looks so incredible.
It looks so good. So this has apple, ginger, rosehip, turmeric, cinnamon, orange peel, a whole lot more deliciousness.
It smells so good.
It really does. I'm so glad you poured that. Let's take a sip real quick if that's cool with you, and then we'll spill some figurative tea. Ooh, it's hot, but that is good.
It's so good.
So what do you taste first? I'm tasting the apple first.
I'm tasting like the cinnamon and the turmeric, I think.
That makes sense. You like cinnamon.
I love cinnamon,
That makes sense. Okay, so don't forget, this is the turmeric mango herbal tea from the Spice and Tea Exchange. Highly recommend this one.
Yes.
I wonder how it would taste iced.
There's a lot of benefits to it too.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Good health benefits to this one. So while we continue sipping on this literal tea, Ava, let's spill the tea. So whoever wrote in, it is a woman in her 30s, married with kids.
Okay.
That's the background, okay? So she says that she grew up as an athlete. She played sports in high school. Then she went on to be a Division I college athlete.
Wow.
Yes, very impressive. She married a man who also pretty athletic. He played some sports in high school. Not too much after that, but stayed pretty fit. So, fine. One night, it's family night. They're eating dinner. And she says that they're watching wrestling. And the kids are like, hey, you guys should wrestle. Mom and Dad. And they're like, yeah. Dad used to wrestle in high school. Mom's fit. They do a funny wrestling. The mom pins the dad. Is that the right term in wrestling?
Yeah, I would say.
Okay.
the right wrestling term.
She won, basically.
Wow.
Yeah, and Dad wasn't too happy. Here's his argument. He says, he's the dad, he's, the man of the family. She should have let him win in front of the kids. She says, no way, Jose. This was a fair match. I won fair and square. He thinks it set a bad example. What are we thinking?
So, coming from an extremely competitive person like myself, I think that I can see both sides, but I also think that if I were in the situation, I would totally be like, I'm winning this, or at least trying to win this. Yeah. And I don't know who, like, if they have kids, boys or girls or whatever it is, but it's a good lesson to be learned. I think that girl power, the mom is obviously a beast.
Yeah.
And I think the dad could, maybe ease up.
Or hit the gym a little more, dude.
Maybe it serves as motivation for him.
Right. I'm with you on this one. I'm sympathizing with the man, right? I can understand if your ego was hurt a little bit. But,
of course.
But I mean, if anything, I think if I beat my fiance in a wrestling match, he'd be like, respect. Like, okay.
He should be more supportive.
Right. I think he would think that's really cool. So I'm hoping your husband's over it at this point.
We hope so.
He should be. But, girl, I think this isn't on you. Advice-wise, I would just say he needs to chill.
Yeah, take a little bit of a chill pill and relax a bit. Maybe if he wants to take it as motivation to get in the gym a little more or pump some iron or whatever it is.
Exactly. I think it's cool. Yeah, it didn't specify if they have boys or girls, but I do think it's cool that if they have a daughter or daughters, that they saw that. And it's cool too if they're boys and they saw that. It's like, hey, you better, if you want to win, doesn't matter if you're fighting a girl or a boy.
Right.
Work hard.
Also just, I think that being able to show that girls,
can do it.
Yeah, they can do it.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't.
I mean, I don't think I could either. A wrestling match, I don't know. Arm wrestling though, we talked about it earlier this week. I think we could.
Do you remember that conversation, the arm wrestling conversation? I think my advice for this husband, the best advice I can give, is go to Spice and Tea Exchange in Rehoboth Beach, grab yourself some calming tea, and relax.
Best advice you can give.
Thank you. I think so. And it's good, too, if you don't need to relax, if you just enjoy tea. So we, of course, as always, want to thank our friends at the Spice and Tea Exchange in Rehoboth Beach. Don't forget, Rehoboth Avenue. Quick, easy. Go grab your tea. Go grab your cute mugs. Ava, aren't these mugs cute?
They're adorable. I have been drinking out of them all week.
That's true. Even when we're not, filming here, it's like everything. The tea's always in these mugs. We love these. Cheers. Well, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I have been loving the tea.
Good. I'm so glad. Yes, the literal tea and the
figurative
tea. Exactly. If you want to send us your tea, your drama, email us team@coastlife.com. We will be right back.
Spill the Tea was brought to you by the Spice and Tea Exchange of Rehoboth.
You are watching Coast Life, and our time with you is almost up. And sadly, so is our time with Ava. Ava, your last day's tomorrow.
I know.
I'm so sad.
I've had such a great week here with you.
Thank you. We've had so much fun. We, of course, miss Leah, but it's been such a blast having you. I'm curious, what's been your favorite part of being on Coast Life?
I think working, obviously, with you and the whole crew, but also being able to push myself out of my comfort zone has been a really surprisingly rewarding experience.
And you've absolutely done such an amazing job.
Thank you.
Really want to reemphasize, don't forget, she came to us from Delmarva Sports Network. So you would do so great behind the camera, capturing all those moments for athletes, but you pushed yourself and came on the other side of the camera, and we are loving it.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
I'm so happy here.
Yes, we're happy to have you back anytime. And show Ava some love, of course, and let her know how amazing she did this week. But not yet, not saying goodbye yet.
Not yet.
Again, she's back tomorrow. Right now, though, before we let you all go, I just want to remind you of a couple things. We started a new segment called Mom Moments. It is hilarious. You moms out there are sending us really funny pictures of your kids, funny stories of things that have happened, and we're showing them right here. So email us, team@coastlife.com, with funny moments from your kids. And Ava, of course, it was so fun having you spill the tea with me today.
I had so much fun. It was piping hot.
Always is, and that's another thing. So if you're not a mom, or if you are, just you can send us some of your tea. It's anonymous. We won't say who sent it. That also can be sent to team@coastlife.com. Well, it's time